guys. Okay, give me a quick second. I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me loud and clear if you're watching live right now. Hey, Therese, I see you over there on the YouTube channel. Hello, guys. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you. Hold on, something. I think I just got a message. All right, let me put away all these little jewelry. I was literally rushing. I'm just going to be totally honest with you guys. I'm actually cooking a huge dinner. I don't know why. I just want to cook a lot today. I feel like cooking a lot of food today. So I'm making chicken breasts. I just got done making chocolate chip cookies for the kids. I'm making baked mac and cheese, and I haven't decided yet on which vegetable I'm going to make tonight. But yeah, I just feel like cooking a lot. You ever get in those moods where you're like, you know what? I just want to make a feast today. I just want to make a feast today. I don't know why. I just want to make a feast today. But thank you, everybody, for hopping on. This is your first time tuning into me. I'm Letitia Campbell. I'm your #1 email marketing strategist, CEO and founder of the Camel Success Network, and the creator of my Emailpreneur Tribe, my Unlimited Success mini course. And let me just pop the link in the comments. My Unlimited Success mini course. Oh, that's the wrong banner. Let me get the right one here. Hold on. My Unlimited Success mini course, okay, is now open for enrollment. So you can head on over to bit.ly/unlimited success 2022 to enroll inside this course today. It's an amazing course, especially for those of you who want to get your mind right, who want to get your mental health right, who really want to live each and every day this year with positivity, with encouragement, all the things. So here's our conversation today. Today is called Winning Wednesday. Woo, 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 woo. Yes, today is called Winning Wednesday, okay? And the reason why I'm calling today Winning Wednesday is because obviously we already wrote out our 2022 goals. Most of you guys are excited about, this year, but we all pretty much know what happens around the 22nd or the 15th of January. People's resolutions goes down the drain. You know what I mean? Like, people are not as excited as they were when that ball dropped. So super huge shout out to Therese and Mavana. Thank you, sis, for hopping on. I'm happy to see you guys on here. So I did my goals, and I did my goals very different this year. I really went to the foundation of SMART goals. How many of you guys, type in me down below if you have ever heard of, thank you, Therese, have you ever heard of the term SMART goals? And I'm going to just pull those up on the screen while you guys are answering. Have you guys ever heard of the term SMART goals? Have you ever heard of that word? Let me pull this up so that way we can all be on the same page here. All right. And I'm pretty sure if you have a business and you've been operating your business for a while now, you have heard of the term SMART goals before. But I'm just going to pull this up just to refresh some of you guys' memory. Let me get this. Boom. Here we go. Boom. There it is. So good. You guys can see it on the screen. Let me move myself around here. No, I don't like myself small. Ooh, where'd it go? Okay, here we go. Oh, I don't like how that looks either. All right, let me make myself... Okay, I'm not going to touch any more buttons, guys. I promise I'm not going to touch any more buttons. All right, so we're going to jump into like what is SMART goals and all that stuff, but I want to first just talk a little bit about myself when I was first thinking of, hey, LaShawn, how are you, sis? Happy to have you here. So yeah, when I was sitting down and I was working on my marketing plan for 2022, I actually started to work on my marketing plan back in November of last year, because I'm like, you know what? I don't want to walk into 2022 figuring out what the hell I was going to do, what the hell I was going to launch, and things like that. So I sat down, and guys, it took me all of November and all of December, and my assistant Therese, she's on here, she'll vouch for this. It took me all of November, all of December to figure out what the hell I was doing this year. And here's why. It's because I wanted to make sure that whatever I was hitting the ground running on made sense. And on top of that, we're working heavily on the back end with building up my systems. Okay, because you guys know I'm really, really big on systems. And for years, I struggled with building systems in my business because I just didn't write. I did not like writing things down. I did not like documenting things. I'm such a go, 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 go type of individual, right? So to sit down, like today, I wrote out a procedure that I sent out to the team earlier today. It took me a couple of hours to do it because I'm like, okay, Tisha, focus. It's all in your head. You just got to get it on paper. You got to add it to this Google Doc. You got to create this video. It's explaining what the procedure is about, and you got to send it out to the team. So it took me a long time because, again, I'm not a document type of individual. So that's one of my major goals this year, is to literally have a whole digital manual of everything, the ins and outs of my business. So when I hire somebody new, guess what? They're not waiting on and wondering when they're going to start working. Like, no, when I hire another VA or another project manager or whoever, they're literally, okay, go to this file, watch the video, follow the steps, and boom, boom, boom. All right. Oh, LaShawn, LaShawn, send me your marketing plan. I think I emailed you this morning. Did you get my email this morning, sis? If you got my email this morning, or if you didn't get it, go and check. I sent it to both your emails, I think. Send that over to me because that's what I really need. Hey, Queen Kita, I haven't seen you in a minute, sis. Girl, you better come back on in the fold. Yes, you better get back on in. Yes, Therese, why you put a happy face, sad face, love? Let me know. So let's jump into these SMART goals, because at first, when I first wrote out my 2022 goals and how much revenue I wanted to make this year, I was like, yeah, I want to make 7 figures. I want to make 8 figures. And I said, Letitia, girl, listen, girl, keep it 100, right? I had to have that conversation with myself. Like, I kid you ladies not. I had to get realistic, because I feel like, why is this closet open? Because I was creating a goal that I never made even close to. You guys know how some of you guys are. Maybe every year in your business, you've made 5 figures a year, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, this year I'm going to make 8 figures. And you're like, girl, are you serious? And if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, guys, please slap that like button. That really helps the channel out, and subscribe. But yeah, I was like, girl, like, ladies, you're only in competition with yourself. If you're sitting back and you're like, well, maybe your goal was to make $500,000 this year, and you're like, now you're being realistic, right? And you're like, well, if I make 150 this year, 150,000, that's not bad, because I know if I make 150,000 this year, I know for damn sure next year, which is 2023, I'm definitely going to surpass 500,000, right? Because you guys got to understand. So let's just jump into this, what are SMART goals? And all of you have heard of SMART goals before. If you haven't, let me know, right? LaShawn said, I submitted in Google Classroom. Okay, great. Just, oh yes, I'll check it there, LaShawn. I'll check it there, love. Tree said, writing out the procedures. Yeah, you gotta write out your procedures. Is so important. Yes, Queen. I've been like a year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. All right, so let's jump into SMART goals. Now, when I was looking at this diagram, I was like, I need to find one that had was more detailed, right? So SMART goals is every successful business has clearly set and you're right, Laura? Oh, I thought you said something. My daughter's over here doing her homework. Articulate goals to attain specific objectives. SMART goals is what's that word, y'all? Help me out here. Acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-based objectives. Okay, so it's specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based objectives. I'm going to say this again. Specific, measurable, write this down in the chat, y'all. Attainable, relevant, and time-based objectives. All right. So when I sat down last November, I had to get clear. I had to get very specific about what goal I wanted to set for my business. Right. I had to get very clear on who it involved. Like, what is, in order for me to make the goal, the number that I wrote down that I wanted to make in 2022, I said, who is involved in this? Who I need to like reel in on this, right? What did I actually want to accomplish? Like, what is that? I said, teacher, why do you want to accomplish this humongous, crazy goal? Like, who you're trying to prove yourself to, right? If you get more clear, if you really get clear on the outcome, making that humongous goal, you may end up going into burnout, right? When did I want to achieve the goal? That is important, because guys, listen, by the time June comes, y'all got to sit down and assess. Y'all got to say, wait a minute, let me look at what I did in January, February, March, April, May, and you don't want to look back and then it be June and you didn't make nowhere near close to your goal, right? Where does my goal take place? Like, and we talked about this yesterday. It's like, I had to sit here and say, I need to focus my time, energy, and effort and attention in very few places. I can't stretch myself out like I did the same that I did in 2021, right? And why is this goal important? Why is it important? Like I said, sometimes we want to create these huge, humongous, large goals to try to prove ourselves to other people. But if you create a clear and specific goal, right, and try to say, you know what, I'm just going to focus on being better than being better than I was last year, you're definitely going to make that goal this year. You guys getting what I'm saying? You're definitely going to make that goal this year. All right. So my question for you ladies is this. Have you been specific about your goal? Right? Have you been clear about your goal? Thank you, Therese. Therese put, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-based. Yes or no? Put it down below. Have you been? Do you feel like the number that... And guys, listen, here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. I was working on my marketing plan. It took me 2 whole months to finalize it. 2 whole months. The last time I made an update to it, it was literally probably like Therese, I think it was like the last 2 days of the year that I was like, oh, let me go back in and check again and maybe change some stuff around. And even I moved some stuff around even as recent as yesterday. I was like, okay, ooh, I need to change this up because this opportunity showed up. Like, I'm still editing and adjusting it. Your goal and your marketing calendar is not always concrete, but you create it so at least you have some form of blueprint to go by. So don't be too hard on yourself. So let's jump into measurable, guys. Yeah, right? What matrix are you going to use to determine if you meet the goal? If it's a project that's going to take a few months to complete, then plan and set some milestones by considering specific tasks to accomplish. For example, one of my measurable goals or measurable projects that I said I was going to accomplish in 2022 was to start to write out all of my systems. All of them. But when I was sitting down and thinking of this humongous project, because there's so many moving parts to my business, I said, Letitia, let's be realistic. You are not going to complete this entire project in one day. So take that out of your mind. You're not even going to be able to complete this project in 1 week. It's probably going to take you the whole first quarter of this year to actually have all of your entire system. I'm talking about videos, step-by-step, Google Docs, all that stuff, all digital, so that way your team has full access to it. So I said, you know what? I could work on 1 procedure a day. But from Monday to Friday, I'm like, I'm going to work on 1 procedure a day. I can keep up with that. If I do 2 in 1 day, that's a plus. That's a bonus. But I'm not going to beat myself up or try to pressure myself to meet a short deadline that I know as a mom of 5, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Right? So I want to ask y'all a question. I want y'all to put this in the chat and be honest. How many of you guys have created these short deadlines for yourself, and when you didn't make it, you gave up? Okay? How many of you guys has that happened to? So, achievable, guys, let's go here. The goal is meant to inspire motivation, right? Think about how to accomplish the goal, and if you have the tools and skills needed. If you don't currently possess them, consider what it would take to obtain them, right? So, whatever goal that you set out for yourself, you have to know without a doubt that you're going to achieve it. So, I want to say this, and I want to say this clear. Some of y'all are making goals in your business, right? That you know that you probably think you could achieve, but you're not 100% sure that you will achieve. So that means that goal is not the goal that you should have mapped out for yourself. It's nothing, guys, listen, I know the people out there talking about, well, you should aim high and aim big and go for big. But in the day, if you are an entrepreneur, when you put numbers down on a piece of paper, right? Or when you throw numbers out there into the universe, you have to know without a doubt, I can make those numbers this year. When I used to work in sales, I could not make a number. I couldn't say a number and just say, I hope I make this figure this year in sales. No, when I was asked, I had to give them a number that I knew 100% with all the resources, with all the organic work that I was doing, that I can actually achieve. Are y'all getting this so far? You have to write down a number that you know without a doubt that you can actually achieve. Don't throw out, you want to make $1 million and that's a hope goal. That's a I wish I can make that goal, so I'm going to just throw it out there for the purposes of throwing it out there. No, that's a dream. That's not a goal. Right? And in business, you can't just be creating these dream goals. You have to have a sense of accuracy and then base your actions on that. Okay? Because that's something you could pivot from. So like the example that I said, if your goal was to make $500,000 this year and you're like, you know what? Let my goal be $150,000 this year because I know I can make that. Right? This time next year, your next year goal will be $500,000. You see, you have to pivot from something. If you're making these huge dream goals and you don't make it, you have nothing to pivot from. Is anybody hearing me today? Thank you so much, LaShawn. Okay, so now let's go to relevant, right? A goal needs to align with your company's objective, right? Does this seem worthwhile? Does your goal seem worthwhile? Is it worth it, right? Like, for example, Teresa's going to laugh. There was a business that I was going to get into before the end of last year. And when I did more research, I was like, oh no, this other business venture doesn't fall within my values. So before you hit the go button on anything yet, ladies, that's outside your brand, please make sure that it is worthwhile. Is this the right time? Like, you may have a goal or a project that you want to work on. There was another thing I wanted to do this year that I was like, you know what? Even though that would be exciting, that if I do this particular project this year, it's really not going to be worthwhile and it's really actually going to be dangerous to my brand. So that is something I'll put a pin on it for next year. It's okay to move things over to the next year so that you can make room for the things that you're actually supposed to be doing. The next thing is, does the goal align with my other goals? Right? Does it align with everything else that you want to do and create in life? For example, one of the commitments that I made to myself for 2022 is I am not working my business on Saturday and Sundays. Right? I want to spend time with my kids. I want to, deep clean my house. I want to, sit in my bed till 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning, and just relax. I don't even want to check emails. I don't want to check messages. I don't want to work on anything. So when I am now getting opportunities inbox to me, if it is going to be something that's going to make me work, like physically work during the weekend, I'm not going to do it because it doesn't fall in line with my other goals. Right? So that's so important. When you have standards, you want to keep to those standards because your standards are a part of your values, ladies. Are y'all getting this? Am I the right person to be working on this project slash task? So one of the things I did, because like I told you guys earlier, one of the things I'm trying to build this year is I'm trying to write out and map out all of my systems in my business. So I'm doing it more of an untraditional way. I'm like, well, if I'm doing something in my business that takes me more than 5 minutes, then that means I need to take this task or project and hand it off to somebody else. So that's my big thing. Like anything that I'm trying to, make things out to where it doesn't have to require me to do it. And then the pivot from that, ladies, listen, while I was writing down one of my procedures today, one of the things that popped in my mind, the revelations that I had, I was like, you know what? The pivot for me doing this procedure and monitoring this procedure and making sure it gets done right is that one of these days, I'm not going to be the one monitoring this procedure. Follow this, Therese. I'm not going to be the one making sure that this procedure gets done. Now, I am the one right now making sure that this procedure gets done. But eventually, somebody else is going to take that place. Right? Somebody else is going to take that place. They're going to be the ones to say, okay, let me reach out to this VA, reach out to this social media management team, and making sure that this task is being completed and it's being completed directly. I'm not even going to be involved in that. But again, I have to write it out first before I can have an actual pivot. Does anybody get what I'm saying right now? I see a bunch of y'all watching. I know y'all writing notes down. This is deep. And guys, all this falls no matter what business you're in. Like some people businesses are like, some of y'all are probably saying, well, I probably don't need to focus on SMART goals because my business is different. Every business needs to create SMART goals. Every business. All right, so let's jump to time-based. And can y'all see this? Let me just make this a little bigger so you guys can see it a little better, because I don't even think you guys can see the text. All right, y'all, is that big enough for you guys? Let me check over here on the replay. Okay, good. Oh, yeah, that's so much better. Okay, thank you so much, Keita. Okay, so the last thing when it comes to SMART goals is time-based. Time-based. Anyone can set goals. That's so true. Anybody can write down a bunch of numbers on a piece of paper, a bunch of accomplishments or outcomes that they want to create for themselves in their business, right? Anyone can set goals. But if it lacks realistic timing, chances are you're not going to succeed. What is your deadline, right? Ask specific questions about the goal deadline and what can be reached and accomplished within that time period. Gotta have time-based goals, guys. It's so important, y'all. It's extremely important. I know sometimes that the reason why some of us fail at creating SMART goals, even though we've been hearing about SMART goals for years, right? Is, I don't know, I want to ask y'all a question. I want to ask y'all this question. What keeps you from sticking to your SMART goals? What keeps you from staying consistent? I want to ask y'all that question. I think that's the biggest thing. You know what has kept me, while you guys are answering that? What has always kept me from being consistent is I would always have that shiny object effect, where I would have a goal and I would have a task that I want to complete. Or I will write out my to-do list. I will map out everything. And the minute somebody reaches out to me with an opportunity or something comes up, I would instantly, without a thought, say, okay, I'll jump on that. Not even thinking about and considering all the other many things that I've already had on my shoulders. Right? That I already had on my shoulders. So I want to ask you all a question. Tell me, what has kept you from reaching your goal last year? Tell me the one thing that has really, held you captive, right? And reaching your goal last year. That's a great question, because when you can identify what that thing is, then you're going to know automatically how to make changes, right? How to make changes. So I know for me, really understanding the overall benefit of creating SMART goals and really looking at my goal as something like, okay, I'm going to focus on the work. And that's another thing, guys. When you have a goal, You don't just focus on the goal, right? You have to focus on the work. You have to focus on the work. Now, LaShawn said her health. Your health is a huge, and this is why a lot of you guys need to enroll inside my Unlimited Success mini course, because it's going to help you with, your overall mental health. Is going to help you with your clarity. It's going to help you with your mindset. But when it comes to your physical health, which LaShawn, I know is something that you struggled with last year, now is the time to say, you know what, just in case this year, how can I create certain things in my business so if I am taking some time off for health reasons, for emergencies or what have you, that your business is still going, right? That your business is still profiting. Because no matter what happens in life, you know, when your business reaches the level that it's going to reach, you can't stop because of health reasons, right? You have to say, you know what, I know situations are happening in my health, but now that money's flowing in and I'm getting clients and I'm doing calls and all these things, how can I still keep the ball rolling, right? So that way the money doesn't stop flowing in and my retention doesn't fall, right? My retention does not, you know, go to the side, right? So that's important. So you guys always want to create, like, for example, even though I said this morning when I was getting my kids from school, I was like, yeah, I'm so happy this year that I'm going to make sure that I'm going to focus on family during the weekend and what have you, 100%. But I was like, Letitia, you can still create pre-recorded videos, right? Because you're using StreamYard, so you can upload a pre-recorded video as a live, right? You can still do things in your business even though you're off. I was like, yeah, that's a real good idea, right? That's a really good idea. So again, guys, you gotta focus on you, and you gotta make sure also that you are creating achievable goals in your business. Goals that, I know it's nice to say $1 million. I know it's nice to say 8 figures. I know it's nice to say 6. I know all those numbers are so nice. But I'll be honest with y'all. The people out there who are saying they're making 6, 7 figures in their business are not making that much really in their business. Okay, I realized that firsthand, the lies that some people would say just so it could sound marketable. I was partnered with a couple of years ago, and they were like, we made $24 million. And I'm like, when I realized that they were not really counting that in American dollars, I was like, woo. So you just got to be real careful, guys. Like, just because people are out there saying it, if you really see what money is being trickled down to them on their end, that's not really the case. And also, if you're just getting started in business, especially if they're early in the business, like let's say 5, 6, 7 years in, which is still considered a new business owner, they haven't even paid themselves yet an actual paycheck. Because all the money they make in their business goes back into their business. Because that's how it's supposed to be. How your business is going to grow if you're making 80% of the profits and you're only giving 20% back to your business. It's just not how it works. Right? So make sure you guys are always looking at that and keeping that in your mind, and knowing that when you're making a goal, the goal is about you. The goal is about, you're saying, you know what, this is what I made last year. Now, how can I pivot from what I've currently made last year? Hold on one second, y'all. Yeah. All right, guys. So listen, y'all, that's all I have for you guys today. If you haven't already done so, head on over to bit.ly/unlimited success 2022 and enroll today inside of my mini course. Enrollment is going to end at 8 p.m. Eastern. My husband sent me messages. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on January 13th. That's the last day in the roll. So make sure you guys get in today.
So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, don't forget, get out there and dominate, because it's time to design the life that you, in fact, deserve. Till next time. Bye, guys.